Welcome to a moment where the whole world seems to stand still, leaving only the sound of your breath and the voice guiding you into a world where imagination and reality intertwine. Tonight, leave the day's worries behind. Let your body relax into a soft bed. Breathe in deeply and breathe out slowly, letting your anxieties fade away like morning mist. We are about to embark on a journey together to a frontier humanity has tried to cross for thousands of years, the boundary between life and death. Have you ever wondered why we fear death? Is it because of pain, or is it because of the unknown of what lies beyond that dark curtain? Or perhaps we simply regret not having enough time, regret the songs unheard, the books unread, and the love unspoken. If one day that dark curtain were to open and we found that we could walk through it without turning to ash, if we could have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands more tomorrows, would you choose that? We will delve deep into the heart of immortality, from ancient legends passed down through generations to the most advanced laboratories in the world, where scientists are trying to cheat death with technology that seems like magic. Close your eyes and let these stories slowly seep into your thoughts. Humanity has always had a strange relationship with death. In the past, immortality was seen as a privilege of the gods. Humans were merely temporary visitors to this world, but we never gave up trying to be like those gods. Imagine China over 2,000 years ago. Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the one who unified a fragmented land. He had everything a human could desire: power, wealth, fame. But the more he had, the more he feared losing it. He was obsessed with finding the elixir of life, even sending a large expedition with thousands of young men and women out into the Eastern Sea to search for a legendary island inhabited by gods. He believed there was a medicine there that would grant eternal life. But the sad truth is, the medicine he thought would prolong his life was what ultimately took it away. The mercury he consumed daily, advised by alchemists who believed this metal, fluid like water yet solid like earth, was the key to eternity, ultimately destroyed his body from within, leaving behind only the magnificent terracotta army to protect his spirit in the afterlife. It wasn't just in China. In medieval Europe, alchemists spent their entire lives in front of furnaces, trying to find the Philosopher's stone, believed to be able to turn base metals into gold and distill the elixir of life. Or the Spanish legend of Juan Ponce de Leon, who sailed in search of the Fountain of Youth in Florida. He believed that anyone who bathed in its waters would have their body restored to that of a newborn. Why did we yearn for these things so much? Perhaps it was because, in that era, human life was so short and fragile. The average lifespan might have been only 30 or 40 years. To live long enough to see your grandchildren grow was considered a miracle. Death then seemed like a shadow haunting every step, and humans could only use faith and imagination as a shield. But who would have thought that in just a few hundred years, what we once called magic would become a reality in a test tube? In today's world, science no longer views death as a matter of fate, but as an engineering problem that we must solve. Have you heard of the epigenetic clock? Scientists have discovered that within our bodies, there's a clock that tells our true age, not our chronological age, but the condition of our DNA, which changes over time, like a book that's been read repeatedly until its edges darken and pages become brittle. But the most exciting thing is, we've found a way to erase those dark marks. Professor David Sinclair from Harvard University, one of the leaders in aging research, believes that aging isn't natural, but it's a loss of information in cells, like a scratched CD that a player can't read. And if we can repair those scratches, cells can function like brand new again. He once experimented on mice, old mice, with blurry vision and cognitive decline. But after receiving Yamanaka factors, special proteins that help reset cells, those mice regained clear vision. Their brains became sharp again, and their graying fur turned dark. This isn't just slowing down aging, it's true rejuvenation. There's also the concept of longevity escape velocity, the idea that if we can survive for another 10-20 years, medical technology will advance so far that it can extend our lives faster than we age and die. Imagine this. If every year you get older, science can give you an extra 1.5 years. You would never reach the finish line of death. We're talking about a world with tiny nanobots, buzzing around in your bloodstream, patching up broken DNA, clearing out cellular waste that causes Alzheimer's, or constantly repairing blood vessels to keep them flexible. In the future, going to the doctor might not be for treating illness, but for servicing your body, like taking your car in for maintenance. But that's just about the body. What about our mind? If one day this body truly can't keep up, would we have another option? This is the concept of mind uploading, viewing our brain as the most complex computer in the universe, and our thoughts as software. If we can copy this software, we can run it on any machine, whether it's a supercomputer or a robot body made of metal and plastic. Imagine a world where you don't need to eat, don't need to sleep, don't need to fear viruses. You can live in a meticulously crafted virtual world, a world where you can build castles in the clouds, or spend 1,000 years mastering physics. Currently, we're seeing the first steps of this through what's called digital twins. There are companies trying to collect all your data, from messages you chat with friends, photos you post, videos you record, to your voice and way of thinking, to create an AI that can interact exactly like you. Think about it. If one day you pass away, but your children and grandchildren can still put on VR glasses and walk in to talk to you, consult you about life's problems, and get answers that are truly you. Does that sound comforting or unsettling? Philosophers raise a very interesting question. If you upload your mind to the cloud and your physical body remains, then there would be two yous, wouldn't there? And which one is the real you? If the computer version of you has feelings, memories, and says, "I am you," what could we argue against that? This is where science begins to overlap with philosophy, and where we have to ask ourselves, what exactly is our self? Is it the 1.4 kilograms of flesh in our skull? Or is it the electrical currents flowing through neural circuits? And if we can truly be immortal in digital form, would we still call ourselves alive? When we have no beating heart, no breathing lungs, and no skin that can feel the warmth of the sun? Welcome back to our mysterious journey. Breathe in deeply, release all worries once again, and let's look at the dark shadow hidden behind the bright light of immortality. If one day, the technology that makes us immortal becomes a reality, the most important question isn't how do we do it, but who gets to use it. Imagine a world where death is no longer the great equalizer. Currently, whether you're a billionaire or someone living paycheck to paycheck, ultimately we all face the same end. Death is nature's greatest balancer. But what if immortality comes at an astronomical price? If cellular rejuvenation or mind uploading costs an amount that only 1% of the world can afford, we would see the most terrifying inequality in human history. It wouldn't just be a difference in status, but a difference in species. We would see a new class, a class that never ages and never dies, those who have endless time to accumulate knowledge, power, and wealth for hundreds, even thousands of years, while the majority still face illness and natural decay. Think about it. If an all-powerful dictator could live forever, how many centuries would he rule a country? How could the world change? If the old generation, with their old ideas, never made way for new generations to create new things, human evolution might stagnate because evolution requires shedding the old. It requires death and rebirth to allow for adaptation and better new things. And if we all became truly immortal, could this planet sustain us? An ever-increasing population with no one leaving. Where would we find food to feed hundreds of billions? Where would we find land for everyone to live? Perhaps we would have to escape to Mars or build colonies in space just to escape the overcrowding of a world filled with immortals. Does that sound like heaven? Or an endless hell? But the most terrifying aspect of immortality might not be about money or living space, but about our own heart. Have you seen the movie Only Lovers Left Alive? The story of vampires who have lived for hundreds of years. They have endless time to learn every language in the world, play every instrument, read every book. But what they face is bottomless ennui. Everything in the world seems repetitive. Wars that happen again and again. Fashion that cycles back. Love that once made their hearts race becomes predictable. The flavor of life often comes from the fact that it's limited. Why are we excited about cherry blossoms that bloom only once a year? Because we know they will wither in a few days. Why do we value hugging loved ones before work? Because we know tomorrow that opportunity might not be there. If you had 1,000,000 years, would you still rush to watch the sunset? Or would you tell yourself, I can always watch it tomorrow? Or 100 years from now, it's still not too late. Death is the deadline that gives life meaning. It forces us to choose what is truly important to us. It forces us to be brave, to love, and to act. Without that deadline, we might become sluggish, drifting aimlessly in the current of time, like someone lost in a vast ocean with no shore in sight. Immortality might strip away our humanity. While the Western world is trying to cheat death with science, the Eastern world has a completely different perspective. In Buddhism, we speak of anicca, or impermanence. Everything that arises, exists, and ceases is the most beautiful and just nature. Trying to defy nature, trying to cling to things that are destined to decay, is the source of the greatest suffering. There's a Japanese concept called wabi-sabi. It's about finding beauty in imperfection, in the cracks of a teacup, in a wilting leaf, and in the wrinkles on a face that tell the story of a life. These beauties are valuable because they are temporary. Perhaps true immortality doesn't mean breathing forever in this body, but perhaps it means letting go of the self and becoming part of something greater. Like a drop of water falling into the ocean, that drop of water may disappear, but it becomes part of the waves, part of the tides, and part of an endless cycle. When we die, for the elements of our body to return to the earth, to become fertilizer for trees, food for other living things, and part of this planet, isn't that another form of immortality? True immortality might be hidden in the imprint we leave in people's hearts instead. The good deeds you've done, the teachings you've passed on, or the love you've given to someone, these things will remain and flourish even after you are gone. Artists who passed away hundreds of years ago, yet their work still makes people cry today. That is the most beautiful immortality. Tonight, we've traveled so far, from bustling laboratories to boundless space, and back to the quietly beating heart in your chest. how close is humanity to immortality? The answer is, we are getting closer to the technology that will extend life. But we may still be far from understanding how to live that eternal life happily. No matter how far science takes us, no matter if we can turn our bodies into steel or upload our minds into computer code, one thing technology cannot give us is the meaning of life. That is our duty, tiny humans with limited time on this earth, to find that meaning for ourselves every single day. Now, let those questions drift into the darkness. No need to rush for answers. Breathe in deeply. Feel the wonder of this moment's breath. Breathe out slowly. Release all desires to possess time. Death might be the longest sleep, and life is the most beautiful dream before we awaken. May tonight you rest fully in the embrace of tranquility. Tomorrow morning, when the first sunlight shines, may you awaken with a heart full of gratitude, grateful for having today to live, to love, and to be a human who will eventually decay.